Chat with a veterinarian, Dr. George R. Cline. Girl Scout Emma meets Dr. Cline. Dr. George Cline is a veterinarian at Parkway Animal Hospital in Sevierville, Tennessee. Dr. Cline grew up on a small dairy farm in Jefferson City, Tennessee. He has 2 sisters and a brother. They worked on the farm, and that started his love for animals. Dr. Cline graduated from Jefferson County High School in 1995. He then attended Walter State Community College for 2 years before transferring to the University of Tennessee to finish his undergraduate degree. Dr. Cline then completed vet school at the University of Tennessee in 2003. Dr. Cline got married to his wife, Elizabeth, in 2000. Dr. Cline and Elizabeth have 2 children, Madison and Garrett. The Cline family has 3 dogs and 2 cats. They also raise beef cattle and show pigs.
How many pets have you met?
Met? Well, probably just today I met 25. So I mean, if you start multiplying that by 4 to 5 days a week, we meet lots of pets in a year. And sometimes it's the same pet; they just come in several times throughout the year. But we have probably about 6,000 pets here that we see during the year.
Wow. Do dogs and cats sweat?
They do not have sweat glands, so they do not sweat. That's why they pant. Well, dogs pant, but cats do not sweat.
Okay. Why do cats meow?
Well, cats meow for different reasons. It's vocalization to kind of let you know where they're at. Also, it's to get attention. And different meows mean different things. Sometimes it could be painful. Sometimes it's just they want affection, wanting to get your attention. But not all the time is meowing related to pain. It, like I said, can be used to get your attention. It could be hungry. Sometimes when it's feeding time, they meow when they're a little hungry.
What do you check when a pet comes in?
Well, generally I start from the front, work my way to the back. So as long as they're nice, I'll look at their teeth, look at their eyes, look at their ears. I'll start feeling of their lymph nodes, and then just feel of their skin, their front legs. Go on back. We're feeling for lumps or bumps that are not normal. Make sure their lymph nodes are normal size. I feel their abdomen to make sure it's nice and palpable, that we don't feel any lumps or bumps there. And then I'll listen to the heart and lungs last to make sure everything there is okay.
What is the average amount of pets you see in a week?
Well, during this clinic here, we probably see about 250 a week.
Wow. What types of pets can come in here?
Well, we're basically dogs and cats. Snakes, no, we don't want to see snakes, but I have seen some rats. We do see some hamsters, but mostly dogs and cats. We will trim some wings for birds and trim their beaks, but that's rare.
What can you do to take care of a pet at home?
Well, of course, the main thing at home is husbandry. You want to have a nice place for them to sleep, but they also need clean water and clean food. Okay, they have to stay warm in the winter, and then of course they seek out cool spots in the summer when it's really, really hot. But just clean food and water, and then a bed.
That's it.
Is that it?
Well, what can you do? What can you do to take care of a pet?
What can you do? Well, as far as taking care of them here, when puppies are kittens, it's very important, just like when you guys were little, that we vaccinate them to make sure that we protect them against viruses. There's lots of respiratory viruses that can cause pneumonia, and so we want to protect them from those, as well as in kids, there used to be polio, which would affect your nervous system. There's things like that in cats and dogs that can create problems. Distemper is the virus there, so we vaccinate for it. And then since wild animals can carry rabies, we don't want our pets to get rabies, because if we get rabies, there's no treatment. So that's why there's a state law to vaccinate pets for rabies to protect them from that. We also have to deworm them because they get intestinal parasites, as well as bloodborne parasites like heartworms. So we use different types of dewormers and things to protect them from those, and that's something that you use either monthly or it could be injections at 6 months or 12 months. Also, there's fleas and ticks that we have to worry about. You know, dogs that go out into the woods, they can pick up ticks, and the ticks can get off of them and come on us and bite us. And so it's very important that we keep them off our pets, but also in turn that keeps them off of us, and that protects us from diseases that ticks carry.
What type of food do you recommend for pets?
Well, I really like Purina Pro Plan. They have different varieties of that, but there's lots of good foods. You just want to make sure that the food you choose fits your budget, because all food has different price ranges. And I always like to say, make sure that meat, whether it beef, chicken, lamb, or fish, is the first ingredient. That way, it's a better protein base.
How often should you take out your food like every day, and put new ones in, or just wait till it's gone?
Well, some people free feed. Some pets can limit how much they eat. My Labradors cannot, so we have to feed them twice a day. So we feed them just enough to keep them healthy weight so that they don't waste it. You don't want to feed too much because it will go bad over time and you have to throw it out. So you generally will figure up exactly how much they can eat at a setting, and then that's how much you feed.
Do you recommend wet or dry food?
Well, for dogs, I recommend dry. Wet food's okay, but it can increase the tartar buildup on their teeth. So the dry food and the crunchiness of it helps, but some, unfortunately, pets just swallow the dry food, so it doesn't help them to crunch on it. Cats, they generally don't drink enough water, and so they can get urinary tract infections. So some canned food, as well as dry food, is good to help flush their bladder out so they don't get the urinary tract infections.
And what type of bed do you recommend? Like the circle ones that have like the ring around it, or just like a flat one?
Well, there's all different kinds of beds. It just depends on the pet which ones they prefer. A lot of people will have a nice fancy bed that the pet won't lay on because it's hot, okay? So they'll go to a tile floor or wood floor and lay on it to stay cool, especially in the summer. Sometimes I kind of like the beds that are up off the ground, that are kind of like canvas, that just kind of, but I mean, it just depends on the pet.
And why do cats like scratch at things and lay in the sun?
Well, they like to sunbathe. They like the vitamin D that they get. But scratching on things, cats tend to shed their claws. And they also keep them sharp that way, okay? So they don't trim their own fingernails like we do. And so to keep them sharp and keep the old claws from coming off, they scratch on things. And that just keeps them sharp. And, you know, unfortunately, we've got some wounds here periodically to kind of let us know that they're sharp. But they can destroy furniture too.
And that's all the questions I have.
Girl Scout Emma found answers to a few more questions on the Parkway Animal Hospital's website, www.parkwaysevierville.com. How do I choose a veterinarian? The answer to this question is, look around for the best vet service. The office should have a supportive, calm, and caring environment for both you and your pet. Choose someone you can trust and who offers high-quality service. What happens at an appointment? You should be greeted warmly and then check your pet in, very similar to your own doctor's appointment. Then you will go to an exam room. You will answer questions about your pet's medical history, current condition, and reason for your visit. The vet will examine your pet and talk to you about what they discover. How do I get ready for my pet's visit to the vet? You should be ready to talk about your pet's health and behavior, and bring any questions you may have. The vet will do the rest. Can my pet catch a cold or the flu? The answer is no. Your pet can't catch a cold or the flu, but they can catch strep throat, or have an upper respiratory infection, or intestinal distress. How often should I clean my pet's teeth? The answer is, this is done during your yearly exam, or for larger dogs, you can get it done 1 to 3 years apart. For smaller dogs, it's 6 to 12 months apart, recommended. Thank you for watching, and thank you to Dr. Cline for taking the time to chat with Emma. Thank you. Goodbye now.